Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you two secret frequencies to mixing virtual string instruments. So we're looking at mixing virtual string instruments today, but before we dive in, if you are ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process in its entirety and really start to hone your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through the entire mixing process, step by step, to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without any more of the hassle and without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and talk about two frequencies on virtual string instruments. Let me begin here by playing you the song as it stands at the moment, and then I'm going to solo up these string instruments, these three virtual strings here. It's a violin, a viola, and a cello. These are actually just the stock strings inside of Studio One. So I'll play you what those sound like with the EQ and without the EQ. But let me start here by showing you what they sound like inside the track on this chorus part, and then I'll show you the beginning as well. Jumped around a little bit there so you could kind of get an idea of how these strings are sounding in the mix. Here at the moment, let me play you just the strings by themselves now. I'll jump around to those same two sections. We got the verse section here and our chorus section, just two different parts for the string sections here. Here is the chorus part. It's a little bit more staccato. They're not the realest sounding string instruments, probably weren't programmed the best, but we got a couple frequencies here that we're boosting and manipulating to help them feel a little bit more natural and a little bit more airy inside our mix here. First one we're going to look at, we're going to jump into the chorus section here. Let me pull up our EQ, and I'll do a before and after on this EQ. You can hear where we go from to where we end up. So here's before the EQ, and then I'll kick it in here. You can hear our strings get a lot more air up on the top end. They really open up, and they get a little bit more attack there in the high-mid area. Those are the two things we're going for with the two frequencies we're going to boost here. So let me get rid of these here. This one's the first one we're going to talk about up here at 7K. This is the first big frequency that we're boosting. You can see we're doing about 6.24 dB here at 7.02K. This is where we're really going to get all of that air that we want on the strings. It's going to open them up top and help them feel a little less dull and a little less digital sounding. So let me start here without it, and then I will kick it in, and you can hear that beautiful air that we get up top on these strings. They feel a little bit more real. You feel like you can hear the strings, you can feel like you can hear the bow a little bit more, and they have that nice air that you would get if you were miking them up with a nice condenser microphone, right? Now, something to keep in mind with this, right? Without this boost in, you could feel like that they're a little bit muddy, right? And you could want to go down here and maybe cut some of this low mid area to get rid of some of that mud. But in reality here, they're not muddy. They're just dull sounding on the top end. They don't need to be cut in the low mid area. They need that top end air to help them feel balanced. If we were to go in here and cut this low mid area, what we would end up with is a thinner sounding string sound. We wouldn't end up with any nice air up on top because we didn't boost any of that. We would just lose some of the power and some of that thickness we have in the low mid area. We don't want to get rid of that. We want to boost some top end. So that's why we're doing this move up here at 7K, giving us some air, giving us some of that crispiness on the strings and from the bow, and opening up the top end and balancing our string sound overall. Second frequency that we are boosting is right here around the 2 or 3K area. Anywhere around 2.5K is going to give you this sound here. What we're looking for is to get a little bit more attack in this high mid area. Right now, they have the nice crispy air up on top, right? And we have some of that low end thickness from these 3-string instruments going together, but we don't have any attack that you would get from the bow making contact with the strings that you would get with a microphone, right? If you mic up a stringed instrument, you get some of that natural attack of whether it's, guitar, a pick, or a bow on the strings here. This frequency here is going to bring out that kind of more natural feeling attack. So take a listen here without, and then I'm going to kick this boost in, listen to how our high mid area changes, and listen to how we get some of that attack that we're going for. You can even see just visually, if you're looking at the frequency spectrum here, when this boost goes in, things get a little bit more balanced across the spectrum here. It's not kind of like we have that buildup in the low mids and everything just kind of falls up on the top end. We get a little bit more balance across the frequency spectrum. That's what we're looking for there. Bringing up that high mids makes things feel a little bit more balanced, and we get some of that attack in. So one more time here, and I'm going to take out these two boosts. So we'll start before, and then I'm going to kick them both in. We're going to get our air on the top end, and we're going to get our nice attack in the high mid area. Both of these two frequencies here allow your strings to cut through the mix a little bit better. All of that low mid energy is nice and it helps them feel full, but it doesn't allow the strings to cut through the mix. Let's put them back in the track here. I will mute up our vocals. Take a listen to how our strings get a little bit more balanced inside the track when we put these two boosts in. You can hear them a little bit better. They cut through, but they don't feel really thick and they don't feel really overpowering. So we'll start without these two boosts in. We're going to do this one up top at the high boost, so our 7K boost, and then we'll add our 2.5K boost here. Especially this 2.26K boost, anywhere in this 2 to 3K area, really helps these virtual strings sit really nicely with the electric guitars, the acoustic guitars, and the keyboards. It helps all of these instruments blend together because that's where our energy is lying, especially on like electric guitars or acoustic guitars and keys, anywhere from this 1K to 5K area. That's where all of this energy is lying on our instrument. So a little boost there helps everything balance together a little bit better. Quick review here really shortly. Our two frequencies that we are boosting to help our virtual string instruments here are this top end area. So 7K, anywhere from 7K, 8K is going to give you that nice air and that nice crispiness up on the top and that you want to hear, excuse me, on string instruments. And then our second frequency is anywhere from like 2K to 3K. That's going to give you that nice high mid attack that you want to hear from like the bow making contact with the strings. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to take your mixes to the next level and really start dialing in your workflow as an engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can download it below to start creating more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.